Hi, I'm Hector with the Disability Resource Center, and today I'm going to be talking about how students use different note-taking technology. Note-taking devices and software aid students who have working memory weakness, auditory processing disorder, visual disabilities, spelling, writing-related disabilities, deaf and hard of hearing students, epilepsy or focused attentional-related disabilities. However, many learners benefit from similar resources. Here at UCSC, students usually use a smart pen, audio note taker, digital voice recorders, as well as webcasts. These tools aid through multisensory learning. The Echo Smart Pen allows for students to take notes and sync them with recorded audio from lectures and discussion. This audio can be played back later for review with random access to written notes. If you teach in a large lecture hall setting, the student might be wearing earphones to better reduce background noise while recording. The Smart Pen's recorded audio is similar to that to a webcast, but unlike webcasts, it can accommodate to the note-taking style that is best for the student and allows it for immediate playback. Audio Note Taker is similar to the Smart Pen, but aids students who have found typing their notes more useful than writing. This audio tool records lecture and allows students to sync the audio notes to lecture slides and notes. Students may also use a device called Digital Voice Recorder, which is a simple device that solely records lecture audio and allows for playback. In a webcast, the lecture audio and displayed visuals are captured in a web-based video format. The professor's image is not on the webcast, so many in-person cues and gestures can be missed. Most large lecture halls can be set up for lecture captures. Contact ITS or the DRC for more information on how to set this great learning resource to continue opening access for student learning. Many students benefit from webcasting and other forms of note-taking devices to fill in missing information in their notes. The best way to accommodate students with these devices would be to understand how they work and allowing them to be used in class. Having an open dialogue on these technologies can help break open barriers for student access.
Hi, I'm Samantha with the UCSC DRC, and today I'll be talking a little bit about how students utilize text-to-speech software. Text-to-speech software removes barriers for students with ADHD, dyslexia, auditory learners, and other reading and visual disabilities. For some students with disabilities, reading can be a challenge and can cause a student to get behind on their work. Text-to-speech programs aid students with their focus as they hear and follow along with their readings. We will now show you one of our most used text-to-speech programs, Kurzweil 3000, and how it helps students. Kurzweil allows students to have their PDFs and Word documents read to them out loud. The screen displays the scanned image of the book and the sentence and words are highlighted while the text is read aloud. This is a dual mode of perception. There are various annotation tools that can be used to a student's own preference, from highlighting to annotation, or to edit these documents. They can even extract the notes they took or turn the reading into an audio file. Kurzweil has its own recognition software, allowing students to upload PDFs received from Canvas directly into the program. If the class requires a textbook or a reader, a student can bring the book with a syllabus containing a complete list to the alternative media production team who will scan and recognize documents for the student. Students have found it very helpful when they can receive the reading list before the start of or within the first few days of the quarter, so they can get their books processed quickly by the AMP team. Now that you're aware of the tools people use for accessible text, you can post accessible PDFs and Word documents that will work with these tools. Posting accessible materials knock down barriers for student access to learning.
Hello, I'm Jose, and I'm from the Disability Resource Center here at UC Santa Cruz. And today I will be explaining how students utilize speech-to-text software. Speech-to-text programs aid students with physical impairments, visual disabilities, temporary or long-term injuries that would hinder writing, and students who have trouble physically getting their ideas on the page. A speech-to-text program recognizes all things that are said and converts the text into a word processor. If students need a quiet place to utilize this type of software, they can reserve Accessible Technology Study Room at McHenry, room 0337. Dragon is one of the most powerful speech-to-text softwares out there. The more a student uses it, the more it learns their voice and patterns of speech, and they will recognize audio spoken by them. It also has commands that can control the computer of various softwares. Let's take a look at Dragon in action. OK Dragon, open Microsoft Word. Here's an example of speech-to-text program.
Dictation is a free alternative for students running the Mac OS. It is built into the keyboard tab of the user preferences and can be utilized by anyone. Just turn on the feature, press the hotkey, and you are all set.
If you as a professor notice a student struggling with the mechanics of writing or struggling to put their thoughts onto the page, feel free to refer them to the DRC so we can find a program that best suits them to help them unlock their barriers.